And there is what is called first degree relatives. These are at high risk.
Right.
Family, by definition, is first degree relatives.
Okay.
The father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, not even wife and husband.
Right, yeah.
Medically, this is the family. And their first degree relatives. So your husband's first degree relative is your son's grandmother. So then it will be little far. So it's mostly these are inherited to the first degree relatives. So that of course their genes can jump and rarely, but mostly it is first degree relatives.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. Actually, after my first mammogram, a small lump was detected. So they suggested for breast ultrasound. So after
At
that,
what age, ma'am?
43 last year. So after the breast ultrasound, she said without any risk, from 6 to 8 months again you have to get it done. It's the same, no change in. I think it's some fibro.
No, fibro.
something. So later, how frequently should it get done?
So very simply, prior to 40, majority of the lumps which are detected either on ultrasound or
Benign.
mammograms are generally benign.
Benign, right.
Yes.
That is non-cancerous, which we generally label them as fibroadenomas.
Yes.
Post 40, it is a reverse.
Like,
Unless proven otherwise, they are more in terms of cancer rather than benign. So generally, the population follow these dictums. So on mammograms, if we find a lump, there is a score given to that finding called BIRAT scoring. So anything which is 1 and 2, BIRATs 1 and 2 is generally benign.
Yes.
Anything more than 3, then we can rate that score till 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the finding on the mammogram, they labeled it as BIRATs 3. From 3, the chance or the incidence of breast cancer increases. You have a score of 3 on your mammogram finding, the chance of that particular lump or whatever being malignant is 10%. So anything more than 3, we need a biopsy to prove what it is. Less than 2, 1 or 2, they are generally fibroadenomas or cysts or something which do not need anything. They just need observation. 3, 10%. 4, then you have 4A, 4B, 4C. So between 10 to 90% is the risk of being breast cancer for that finding of BIRATs 4. 5, it is more than 90, so on and so forth. So fibroadenomas are generally lumps of young age. 40 we still consider like that. So if someone labeled that as fibroadenoma, especially with an ultrasound, you need not worry. You could just do 6 monthly or an yearly were anyways doing. You could go ahead and do 6 monthly ultrasounds or mammograms. Unless the size is increasing, we need not worry. You could leave it like that. Sometimes they do disappear with age. Generally, they are more seen in the 20s, 30s. Once they breastfeed, the fibromas generally tend to disappear. Post 40, when you need to be worried is only if the size is increasing on a rapid pace. Then we know that the fibroadenoma is now converted into something called a Phyllodes tumor. Even that is benign, but that needs to come out.
So next year, which one should I go? Like mammogram or the ultrasound?
See ma'am, fibroadenoma is a finding more of ultrasound. Okay, so you could just do ultrasound.
Okay.
One last question, sir.
तो सब क्या पानी पीने का भी डायबिटीज से संबंध है?
Pani,
पानी
का।
कम पीने की वजह से भी डायबिटीज बढ़ती है?
diabetes. Thank you for the question. It gives me a
Actually-
opportunity to.
एक्चुअली डॉक्टर साहब मुझे 30 साल से डायबिटीज है।
Okay.
अब मैं सवेरे के टाइम में 3 गिलास पानी पीता हूँ। अगर दिन में पानी नहीं पी पाता या कम पी पाता हूँ तो मुझे यूरिन इन्फेक्शन
जलन,
होता
हाँ,
है।
इन्फेक्शन
जब यूरिन इन्फेक्शन होता है तब मैं देखता हूँ मेरी डायबिटीज भी बढ़ी है और मेरा बीपी भी बढ़ा है।
Why you should drink less water?
कई बार दिन में सर नहीं पी पाते। मॉर्निंग में तो 3 गिलास पीता हूँ। लेकिन
Afternoon?
डे टाइम में मेरा नाम गोविंद अग्रवाल सर।
जी बोलिए.
मैं मतलब पानी कम पीने की वजह से भी डायबिटीज बढ़ती है क्या?
No, it is not related to that way. When you have a plate after eating food, you have to clean it. you should have adequate water. Similarly, for the body, you should drink adequate water so that it cleanses the body inside and clears. The kidney function is to clear those metabolic end products which are not required for the body. So one should drink adequate water. So not drinking water will not increase the blood sugar levels. Okay, but if you do fasting blood sugar, if you take plenty of liquids, it can dilute a little, not just the blood sugar levels, it can dilute your sodium, potassium, other things. So, but one should take adequate water and then avoid there's so many other things. You should wash your inner body thoroughly with adequate water. So adequate water depends upon how much water, depends upon the external environment. That is what is called heat index. At certain point with certain physical labor, if you go to the farmlands, there the physical labor works,
Yeah.
particularly in an area where there is high humidity, they exert about 5 liters of sweat. Along with sweat, they lose a lot of sodium, potassium,
yeah.
electrolytes. So we have to be, how much water to drink, we have to replace what is lost. Again, that depends upon. So finally, one bottom line is, your urine should never be colored. That much water you should take. That is good for a one body.
General.
I think you got my answer.
Yes, beautifully said.
So, drinking water, not drinking water will not affect blood sugar levels.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful question.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Sudhir. Thank you, very learned audience. And thank you, Ahuja sir, for making this possible on Sunday.
Oh, yes.
And happy for the citizens of the Aparna Sarovar. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you.